So the ICRF, the Israel Cancer Research Fund, will hold its 17th annual Women of Action Luncheon. It's coming up this Sunday, November 13th. And it is all about recognizing outstanding women who have really made a difference. So this year, guests include Anzie Stein, Catherine Melling-Turner, Dr. Sarah Soldera, and the keynote speaker will be HAYLEY ARCENEAUX. And as I list her achievements now, I think it'll give you a pretty clear idea as to why she is the keynote speaker. She is an author, an astronaut, chief medical officer of Inspiration4, that's SpaceX's first private spaceflight. She's also a Netflix star and a cancer survivor. In fact, she was the first pediatric cancer survivor in space and the first astronaut with a prosthetic body part. So very impressive. HAYLEY ARCENEAUX joins us now. Hi, HAYLEY.
Hi, you guys. Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks so much for your time today. So your motto is following your dreams can take you to dreams you didn't know you had. And when I read that, I wondered to myself if that's how you felt about going into space, or was that something you had always dreamed of?
That was completely a dream come true that I had never imagined. But actually, I have lived out my dream in that I'm a pediatric cancer survivor, and I've known since I had cancer at the age of 10 that I wanted to work with kids with cancer. And so now I'm a physician assistant at the hospital that saved my life. But I never imagined I would be going to space for cancer research as well. And I never could have been an astronaut until now, the private sector, and becoming the first person with a prosthetic body part to be able to go to space was just absolutely incredible. But no, I had no idea this would ever be in my life path.
So you became an astronaut, but which, as you said, sort of came as a surprise. However, in terms of getting into medicine, that you did know since you were 10 years old. Tell us a little bit about your childhood and what you had to live through.
I was diagnosed with a type of bone cancer at age 10, and getting that cancer diagnosis was so terrifying because as a 10-year-old, I didn't know anyone who had cancer and survived. And then I underwent a year of therapy, chemotherapy, and then also surgery to save my leg, where they replaced the part of my bone affected by the tumor with an internal prosthesis. But that going through that experience, especially at such a young age, really made me who I am, and it changed everything for me. But I knew that I wanted to work with kids with cancer, and now that I do that, it's just so rewarding, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful job.
Do you ever feel like, obviously you didn't have an average childhood. Do you feel like, that was a bad part of your deal in so much that you wish you'd had more of a childhood? Is that kind of what you try to instill with children who are going through the same kind of thing that you went through?
I think I was surrounded by so many people, like nurses, doctors, who allowed me to still be a kid. And even though I was at the hospital and instead of school, I still feel like I had a wonderful childhood, and I would not take back my journey with cancer for anything because it's opened up so many doors for me, and it's given me this love for life that I really attribute to having had childhood cancer. And it's because of that love for life that I want to get the most out of life. And for me, that one of those things is going to space.
At 29.
I just want to repeat what you just said, because I think that might have kind of thrown people for a loop. You said just now, HAYLEY, that you would not have given up your fight with cancer as a child for anything, which is something that I think most people would say, wait a sec, why would you want to have to go through something like that if you didn't have to? But that has, in essence, changed your life.
It has, and it gave me my purpose in life. And getting to work with kids with cancer now, getting to hopefully inspire people all over the world, not just those who had cancer as a child, but those who have gone through tough times, to just be able to show them with my life story that it gets better. And for me, it got so much better than I could have even imagined.
So heading into space at 29, again, you're talking about things that were absolutely life-changing. I'm sure that was. But just bringing it back to the kids for a second, HAYLEY, the kids, they must just flip out knowing that you are an astronaut, that you've been in outer space.
I think some of them don't believe me at first because I'm walking in scrubs in my stethoscope, and then I'm telling them, oh, yeah, I'm an astronaut. They're like, okay. So I always pull out my phone and I show them videos, and especially videos of doing flips in zero gravity. But it's a really special thing to show them, and then also get to tell them, I was the first pediatric cancer survivor to go to space, but I'm not going to be the last.
I realize it's kind of an odd question, but, going to space, and we've talked to astronauts who describe what it's like for the first time. What was the bigger challenge, the going into space challenge and obviously having fought your fight with cancer, or the becoming a doctor, if you will, challenge?
It was so different. And training for space was extremely challenging. And part of it was because it was so outside of my day-to-day. Like, I had gotten into my comfort zone with medicine, and then all of a sudden I'm learning rocket science. And then training was physically challenging too. It was emotionally challenging, but it taught me so much about myself. And so I think comparing the two, I'm even more proud of my journey to become an astronaut.
So the motto for this event is "Together we can find a cure." I'm sure you speak at a lot of events. I'm sure a lot of the time it is about raising money for cancer research like this one. What does that mean to you? Together we can find a cure. Why is that so important for you?
That is a beautiful motto, and I think it's just so indicative of this fight against cancer cannot be done alone. And it's taking so many people to come together, those with their time, their resources, that we will find a cure, but it's going to take an army. And this event, I'm so excited to be joining this Women of Action event on November 13th. It's going to be really special because it's going to be so many people who are passionate about this, who are coming together, working towards it, and helping us get closer and closer.
Can I ask something that Natasha just said? When you're in school and you said kids didn't believe you when you said you'd been to space, which I think is so cute because it's kind of hard to imagine unless you've actually seen it. How many of those kids, when you're done, the old question used to be when we were little kids, what do you want to be when you grow up? And an astronaut used to be at the top of the list for a long, long time. I'm not so sure that's the case now. Do you get the sense that these children who heard from you and understood now to some degree what you do would maybe want to do that when they grew up?
They do. And it's really special because talking to some of the kids at the hospital, I had this one little girl who I was telling her all about space, and she goes, "I can't wait to be an astronaut." And I loved it because it was not, can I become an astronaut? It's when can I become an astronaut? So that's just been one of the most rewarding parts of going through all of this.
And seeing you and meeting you allows them to dream, right? They're like, look, she went through what I went through, and look, she went into space, and she's still doing amazing things. So it allows them to think that anything is possible for them. Before we run out of time, Hayley, can you tell us a little bit about your book? It's called Wild Ride, a memoir of IV drips and rocket ships.
Yes, my memoir came out just a few months ago, and it's my life story, and I talk about overcoming childhood cancer, and then I actually lost my father to cancer too. And then I talk about working towards getting my dream job, and then going to space for cancer research, and just I talk all about the ins and outs of the training process and the behind the scenes stories of space. And the book is lighthearted and fun, and hopefully it's inspirational as well.
I mean, you have so much to be proud of.
You can still get tickets to the event, I think, right?
You can, yes. Those tickets are available.
Tickets are still available.
Yeah, I'll give out the information, or do you have it, Hayley? Do you want to give it out?
Tickets, sponsorship, and donations are available at the website www.icrfmontreal.org.
Cool.
And
Exactly.
I hope a lot of people want to join because it's going to be a really great event and we're going to have fun.
It is. Again, that's HAYLEY ARCENEAUX. She is the keynote speaker at the Women of Action Luncheon 2022. It's happening this coming Sunday, November 13th at 11 a.m. It starts at the Windsor Ballroom. And as Hayley just mentioned, you can get your tickets or make a donation or find out more at icrfmontreal.org. What a pleasure to meet you, Hayley. And really, you're just doing such fantastic work.
Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate joining you guys.
Hey, Hayley, I have one last thing to ask you before we hang up on you. Maybe this is stupid. When kids realize that you've been up in space as an astronaut, what's the one question they ask you more than anything else, or is there one? Like,
How to go to the bathroom.
Okay.
I knew it.
That's what all the kids want to know.
How do you go to the bathroom?
And, of course, what'd you eat?
What'd you
They
eat?
all want to know about the space food.
All right. There you go. Thank you, Hayley, so much. As Natasha said, great meeting you today. Appreciate it.
Bye, guys.
All
Thanks.
right.
Bye. Thank you.